This is our post-Halloween show, scarier than ever, and we invite you to join us with ManifestiV in the studio, live and in person. Yes, we've got Eve and Paragraph here from ManifestiV, and so we've got a whole bunch of scary things behind you. This is our Twisted Circus. Welcome to the nightmare.
Welcome yourself.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
for having us.
That is the Corpsepaint show. I hope your Halloween was real good.
It was amazing. Black and white, poor Vita. It's the only way to paint corpsey.
So we say elevate your life by going underground and supporting independent music, independent art, right, Eve?
Yes.
And independent movies, because
Yes.
we love horror movies that have bad acting and no plot. We
Horror.
want to see gore and blood and boobs. Right, Paragraph?
Horror movies. Be sure and enunciate that middle two R's or else it comes out like something else.
Well, see, we do a show here. We don't really talk real well. You would think that we should. But
You would think of the
You
name
would
like
think.
Paragraph I do, but I don't.
All right, so we want to talk about a lot of things, but Eve promised me that you have some stories from the road,
Oh, yes.
which I love so much. In a little while, we're going to talk about the event coming up Friday, and that the LSF Fest.
3. Roman numeral.
Is it LSF for 3?
Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, apparently they've had 2.
Is that like Manifesti with a V?
No.
Manifesti 5? No. Okay. Because I must admit, the first time I saw it,
Everyone,
okay,
yeah.
my bad. Yeah.
No, it's
We don't wanna-
our bad. We did it
It's
to throw
okay.
everybody off.
No.
We actually keep a tally of how many ways people have actually mentioned our band name.
I think it should be Manifest and then IV, like 4. I'm just
Exactly.
kidding. No. It's a great name. I don't mean to make fun.
I'm pulling the note up
okay.
now.
Janie Slash is with us too. She's wearing her leather and her studs and looks
Spiderweb
better.
gauges.
Hi.
What?
I know. Look at that.
I don't have much
amazing.
of a voice, so you probably won't hear much from me tonight.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds great. Just, minimalist,
Yeah. Okay. So, Eve, how are you?
Catalina confirmed they've had 2 previous LSF fests. She's in the chat room.
Oh, great. Okay. LSF Fest it's in Arlington. We'll give all the details. We'll give all the details coming up. I enjoyed seeing you guys live.
Thank you.
When was that? Last weekend? Or
We enjoyed seeing you last Friday at Bar 2099 in Fort Worth.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. And, okay, so you put on an energetic, crazy show that is a combination of the dark and the light, the loud and the soft, and
Balance.
balance. And I think you told me that you're after a reaction, whether negative or positive, from audience goers, from audience members.
We want people to think and feel in an age when it's not encouraged. Either.
So do you have some fans that are like, I don't like that guy, but I like Eve?
All of them.
Okay.
I'm the bad guy. We're a living, walking comic book, and I'm the antagonist. So.
Okay. Well, Eve handed me something.
Yes.
All right. So
Speaking of.
and we got to talk about God as a Martian.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm convinced, like you are, that is a true statement. But
That's the
so
question.
so tell me, is this part of the release? Is this your artwork, Eve?
So that is my artwork, and it was released with the single. That is a comic book that is tied with the single because the single kind of describes what happens to us when we die. It's a theory, and it's not what you think it is.
Can you tell us?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would rather not give away the ending of the comic
Okay,
book,
fair
but
enough.
basically it was, it touches on how God could actually be just a being that is that much more evolved than we are. And it doesn't always have to be like some mythical supernatural thing. Like it could actually physically be something like an alien. Because the Egyptians weren't too far-fetched when they worshipped the sun. The sun literally did create us. So in the most literal sense,
The sun is
the
our
sun
God.
would be God, right?
Yes, the sun.
So why would not a more advanced civilization influence us? How could they not be God?
Right. And I spend my life hiding from the sun. So there you go.
There you go.
Hence Satan. And you're on our satanic show. But we're nice people. Don't judge.
No judgment here.
No hiding from God here.
Yes.
How are you? You guys
Doing
seem busy
fantastic.
all the time.
Oh, you know, nonstop with God as a Martian converting to an album. We're doing an album release on December 7th, and that makes the singles that we have right now limited edition because once the album comes out, they'll stop.
Stop the singles.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, one time ever type thing.
Yeah. December 7th. Good day.
Yeah, we're playing with Razorblade Dolls, good long old friends of mine from back when I was in Lame, and we'd do shows together, and I'd accidentally drink Chris's beer backstage, and he'd give me a look with contacts like Eve's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know." And then we became like really good friends and known Scar and all them for a long time, and they have a pretty gory show, so we're going to try to balance that, as I said, when we open it up. So we're the first band playing, and the show starts at 8 on Friday the 7th.
Trees? Or
It's going to be Curtain Club. Curtain Club
Okay,
on
all right,
December
even
7th.
better.
Yeah, so many dates. That's the last one on the books for us this year. And definitely.
wait, so that's on the day of the release?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Are you excited about this?
Very.
Super.
Man, that's cool.
It's been like a 12-month contraction in terms of childbirth.
It's been growing.
Oh, big time.
Been yeah. How many
Big time.
fingers and arms and heads?
6.
and- 6. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some deformed babies in the room. We do. Yeah. Just look. Did you see them all?
Extra limbs, not enough limbs. Altogether, they have the average amount of 2 limbs each.
At the end of the table is our rat queen, and that's Ramon right there.
Any relation to the band?
That's the name he came with. He's from New York, so yeah. course.
I was going to say exact correlation
I,
in that case. That's
I
awesome.
rescued him from the dog toy aisle.
Yeah, he definitely didn't belong there. I'm sure he felt outnumbered.
Yeah, so now I brought him home. He's mine now, and he squeaks.
We didn't want him to be chewed up.
Of course not.
No, gotta save him.
Wait, yeah. Save the Ramon.
So one Ramon.
There's actually a couple left, right? So we're going to save this one too. As you know, we like rats. And Janie Slash has her collection there, but we also have live ones.
I used to have the live one. I accidentally gave a cancerous tumor on its neck by putting it by the Wi-Fi router back when those were new.
Aw.
Yeah, its name was Seneca. Poor thing. But she took it well.
All right.
How does a rat take cancer well? I don't know.
They just live their life.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a tumor
She
and
didn't care.
they just have
She had
fun
her
and
toilet
live-
paper roll she'd hide in, fill it with hay occasionally or
Right.
whatever that thing stuff is called that's in her box.
Yes.
Or
Bedding.
Bedding, hay.
Yeah. Rip that newspaper or whatever.
Yeah, she lived a full short life.
Do you have pets now?
They don't live long anyway.
Just Bumblebee or Batmobile for bums.
Okay.
Yeah, highest paid member of ManifestiV.
Now, is that parked in our parking lot right now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So-
With hover conversions, and it has keep summer safe inside if you try to mess with it, so be careful.
That's funny.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So you drove it to Burning Man.
Yeah.
You did. All right.
Yeah.
And so you were on the bill at Burning Man.
Yeah, and it ended up being kind of an inverse thing because the night of the show that was scheduled. See, the thing is with Burning Man, everything is so spontaneous. It has to be spontaneous. So the scheduled show went like perfectly without a hitch, but there wasn't a lot of spiritual adhesion to it. Not a lot of like fire or attention. And we did an impromptu one, not even suited up in a different way for Burning Man, of course, the next night, and it was on fire, and people were coming on stage and playing with us, and so it was a blessing to get to play there twice, or at all, or a third year in a row, any of that.
If I bring mallets, I can get on stage and bang on the vibraphone.
Yeah,
Sure.
put your body there. Be here now, for sure.
Be here now. be in this moment.
Always,
Yeah.
every moment. Because if you look forward or backwards, anxiety. Come on, it's America 2018. There's over-the-counter anxiety now.
There is, more than ever.
Oh, amen.
All right, so you had people up there, and they were playing instruments, and they were hanging with you, and that was a wild experience.
It was gorgeous. We had a new song, instrumental song, one of the ones available on the single version of God is a Martian before we discontinue it. It's called Drummer Dust. It will be in a different version on a later recording, but we were playing that live at Burning Man the second night, and some people got up on the stage to jump with us like at the end. So yeah, it's anything goes, man.
Oh, I love it. So, but you said it was impromptu and that there wasn't cohesion. But did you have an invite to come out and, hey, we want ManifestiV at Burning Man, or a contract or
Yes.
anything? Okay.
Well, it's like
Informal.
like anything with Burning Man. It was a radical gift that we received, and we happened to have also give radical gifts that were no way barter related. Mine was doing sound for the same stage for the entire week for any band that would show up randomly or be scheduled or DJ or anything. And Eve's was not only helping with just any and everything that needed to be done, but she did a long, super large phoenix head that goes on top of the Fire and Ice Lounge that houses the stage we played on.
I
made out of
contribute a lot of visual art to the
Yeah,
Absolutely,
nice.
So installations, wall art. She did a couple sides of one of the installations there at our village, Ebb and Glow. So that's the name of the village there. So yeah, it's a family thing, pretty much.
Do you mind if we show one of your videos?
Don't mind at all.
This is a Little Spark Film produced video. And then I snatched some of your Burning Man 1-minute snippets.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
and let's just look at those because I think they're just stunning.
Thank you.
And we'll talk about those too, and we'll talk more about Burning Man. But all right, so what is the video? It's from a year ago. I forgot the title. We've
If it's from a year ago or plus or minus, it might be Just Wait.
just wait. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
Good.
we got that full video, and I want everyone watching and listening to get a taste.
Yes, this video was done for a NPR Tiny Desk contest entry, and the rules of the video were that it had to have a small desk in it, and my grandfather made this desk for me when I was 6, and we had it in our rehearsal space, and the Joes and everybody at LSF came up one day and just did a fantastic one shot in the rehearsal room we used to have before we started our huge tour. So that's the story behind this. There will be a more official video when it comes out in full album form, but this is definitely a taste of how we are.
Love it. That is Just Wait, ManifestiV. Tell me what's unique about that video again.
Oh, it's there was no editing. It was all taken in one take from start to finish.
Very cool. And it's live. It was shot live.
Absolutely.
Live performance in January 2017, I want to say.
Cool. Just Wait.
Yeah, and that's going to be on God is a Martian on the full album
Oh, is
release.
it? Good. Cool.
Yeah, and
cool.
it's not currently available yet. So it, among many of the other songs we played 45 shows for Octour on, will be on the record.
You were just on tour on the West Coast
Yeah.
with our friend Leah Lane.
Yeah, she was on the show a few weeks ago. Yeah,
And
great soul.
So, I don't know. It just sounds so fun.
Oh, no,
And then-
it was a blast. It was literally nonstop from top to bottom, just because we'd already done a bit of the West Coast with them, just the Bay Area, but we'd done the Pacific Northwest with Strip Liquor from San Francisco and Die Robot from Portland in May. So it's like we got to show Rose Garden the rest of that route and introduce them to Seattle, for instance.
Good.
Touring bassist Savannah Kushel, love her to death. She's obsessed with Nirvana, just like I am. You know, brought up with all the Seattle things. So she went to go see the Museum of Pop Culture. I think it's Mopop, and it had like the In Utero statue in it, and the set list from Unplugged, and it had the statue of Chris Cornell they just put out front. So it was almost like a pilgrimage. And every day along the way, we just all became stronger as bands. I had a blast playing drums with them. Every single other band we handpicked and curated on the tour that were all locals. Everyone just blew us away, and they were all local.
But in Portland, tell me about Lovecraft Bar.
Oh yeah, no, we love.
But
It's a
you,
Cthulhu. I hope I'm saying it right.
Yeah.
Cthulhu themed bar.
Yeah.
and you played there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So they have a stage, and
Yes.
yeah, cool.
It's beautiful.
It was way fun. We were fortunate enough to have that be our fourth time there. I think it's the only venue we've played in Portland so far, and we've had interest in other venues, and it's been mutual. But Lovecraft's happened to be the right
Look at
place,
that.
the right time. Look at that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's their
Yeah.
website. Yeah, check it out. Their space is immaculate. If you search for them on Google Maps, we have some pictures buried in there too. We decided we were doing marketing research for our own, how to get our band out there while we were in Europe this summer, and we're like, okay, how do we get off Facebook? How do we transcend Google? Everybody's on Google, so all the places that we played pictures, we got the best pictures and submitted them to the venue.
Yeah.
So now we're the main picture for
Oh, right.
the Rail Club over in Fort Worth, and there's Bar Sinister has us with candles in front of us in Los Angeles. So it's literally on the map, man. Check it out.
Janie Slash and I have talked about Lovecraft Bar before.
Oh, it's great.
We've never been though.
Oh man.
But we got to get to Portland.
Oh yeah, PDX. Yeah, it's definitely a journey. I'm gonna call it 1,002 miles, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I should know. I should know by now. I've
Couple
driven it
thousand,
enough.
I'm sure.
Yeah. We've taken that journey enough times. I should, but
All right, so you're on stage, you're killing it. You've got Rose Garden Funeral Party and other local bands in various cities.
No, well, the other local bands, every city but Lovecraft. Lovecraft was the only one where it was only us two because we play before dance night, which is usually the case there.
Yeah.
They'll have live bands on before the goth dance night goes on until 4. So the show's done by 10 because the neighborhood's kind of strict on noise curfew. So it's
Okay.
weird. Yeah.
All right.
No, but it was great fun. And that show was a little different because my getup was a little tamer, I guess you could say. It was more impromptu, but it really worked with the night, and it showed a different side of me. And, being Geminis, we are constantly exposing different sides of ourselves. So that was cool to carry on that
Nice.
tradition.
Nice. All right, Eve, I want to talk about that tour and interesting stories, people you met, things along the way, maybe mess ups with other bands, or parties all night. How was it? Or are there other tours that kind of stand out more in terms of storyness?
Oh man, so many stories. Well, comparatively, this tour was actually, it was more fun, I think, than the other tours. Mostly, I think, because Rose Garden was there and they're just a fun band to tour with. But also, I feel like we've got ourselves into even crazier situations in previous tours. It's, I don't know, it's all across the board. I mean, what kind of stories like?
Is it always easy to park your high-profile
Never.
truck? I don't know.
You
I'm
can't
just curious.
stress it heavily enough to venues. Okay, this is a
There's
baby
sto-
semi.
I was gonna say there's a story just about that. When we were trying to play a show in Manhattan, and we had to leave our truck behind in Pittsburgh, and we met some like interesting people that let us park their car there. And in exchange for us being able to play in Manhattan, because most of New York has low clearance, we had to rent a car to get around, and we ended up like sleeping in this parking garage. And then this like a security guard like found us, and we're like, oh yeah, and like we try to like sneak to like a couple spaces over, and he caught us again, and we got kicked out.
Well, wait, in the truck or
in
It
this
was in
car
a-
that we
in the
rented,
other car that you rented?
because
A
Bumblebee
white-
won't fit anywhere in New York,
It was
really.
a white Chevy Malibu with Virginia plates. We nicknamed her Barbie.
Yeah.
Now, we talked previously about Iceland. Janie Slash knows I love Iceland, and we've got to get to Iceland and get back to Iceland. When I visited,
it's all corpse paint thing, Scandinavian, man.
I know, right? Nordic countries.
It's hereditary.
And you told me you're a fan of Sigur Rós, and
She's got one of their tattoos.
Yes.
okay, and I am too. And of course, when I was there, I was just looking for members of Sigur Rós walking around, and didn't find any. But I found some great record shops in Reykjavik. But did you guys go on vacation or to play?
It was a layover each time because we went over to Germany to visit some dear friends of ours who were having a wedding. They came all the way from Munich, Germany to our wedding in Vallejo, California in 2014. So, definitely wanted to show at least that much love and respect back.
Yeah, respect back. So going to Germany, you lay over in Reykjavik?
Yeah, WOW Air is a really cool backpacker,
wow.
pay
What?
for everything airline, and if you don't need anything, your ticket's really cheap, and that's basically where we're at because we paused tour to go over there. We weren't getting very many bites over in the East Coast. West Coast is super progressive, and we know, various levels of legality open up the mind to what have you on the West Coast.
Paragraph.
Not exactly on the East Coast.
Look at that camera.
Which one?
I don't know. One of those. Wow. Let's tell everybody. WOW Airlines.
WOW Air.
You can get to
Wow.
Iceland.
Yeah.
You can get to Iceland.
Yeah.
Relatively
Wow.
cheap.
Wow. Yeah.
Book in advance, and I mean, it's...
Don't want to do anything, don't bring anything, just want to walk around, and you'll be great.
Yeah, they'll charge you for baggage or carry-ons and
Yeah,
that sort of thing.
they charge you for everything.
Well-
but we already live minimally anyway, so
Yeah.
it didn't really bother us.
Yeah.
But for some people, I mean, like if you use WOW Air and then you expect all the things that you get from a normal airline, then you're
You'll
gonna
get
get
mad.
disappointed. Yeah.
But they're super sweet and all look like they should be in the sugar cubes,
Yes.
Everybody that works there and
Everyone in Iceland,
It's
right.
in strong cheekbones. Had to deal with some pretty crazy geologically active, constantly weather, forever.
it was beautiful there.
Okay, but didn't you tell me you went on a 20-mile hike?
Yep.
And on feet?
Yeah.
On foot?
And,
I don't know if it
in
was 20
Keflavik.
miles, but we did literally walk all the way from the airport to this
Into
rocky
town.
point in Keflavik, which you can do because there's actually like this secret path.
What?
It's like a little footpath from the airport.
It's totally not hidden though. It's public. It's
And-
got benches and signs and lights.
Yeah.
And
Right.
everything.
So you get off the plane in Iceland.
Keflavik,
And-
yes.
Keflavik, and you've got no car, no nothing. You just
Right.
start walking.
We
Yep.
just walk out of the airport
Yeah,
and walk
with
all the way to
backpacks.
Keflavik.
What, did you have any baggage or anything? Just a backpack, probably, right?
Our stuff had been checked in all the way to Dallas
Yeah.
for the layover.
Okay,
Yeah, we
gotcha.
checked our bags.
We literally, I just had my laptop bag and she just had her purse.
So
and
this
that's
was a
it.
day or two, or
It's just one day. Yeah, we started the hike because we landed about 6 or 8 a.m. and ended up heading back about 3 p.m. to make our flight to
Gotcha.
Dublin at that point. It's 6.
What's really crazy is midnight sun because
Oh,
when we were
man.
flying in, we landed there around I think it was
It was a day before the solstice.
a day before the solstice.
Yeah.
So we stood up all night and watched the sun from the airport just dip,
Tap the horizon. It was like,
tap the horizon,
okay,
and
never
then
mind.
bounce
And then
Go
go
the
right
other way.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was like
Right.
3:30
That was
in the morning.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty great.
I love travel stories.
Oh, they're
LSF Fest is what we are showing behind us on that fancy screen. Look, November 9th starts at 7. Diamond Gym Saloon, Arlington, TX. Now, look at that. Look at that.
I love
at
it. Feels like a comic collector card thing because every band and Deadly Sins burlesque performer has
They're separate fonts
Yeah,
in each one.
it's totally like collect all 5. It's really beautiful.
And they took care in pairing us up with certain bands.
Yeah, I saw that. There's kind of like a good match.
Because you guys have Rain opening for you, which is really cool.
Yeah, Raindrops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's super cool. I like that
And
spelling.
Janie, you open for
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
Dude, I saw them. I saw their skate video,
Oh!
and dude like completely wipes out and just doesn't miss a beat. It's completely awesome.
So the bands are Nosferatu, Secret of Boris,
That's gonna be fun. I know those guys.
you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry, who's the other one? It's their
Marquis de Vaudeville.
Marquis of Vaudeville. Oh, can't
Marquis de
forget
Vaudeville,
about them.
right,
The,
and
the other capital
Trinity.
M, capital V, which we love to death. Toby and Geneva, we've known for years, and they're amazing. We've seen them, saw them at a South by, I think most recently.
And I think Catalina said Trinitite. This is their debut
show.
live
yeah.
show.
Yeah, so they're
Very cool.
they're
Yeah,
opening up.
And
with the first
Catalina's
performance.
opening for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Nice. So we've got Deadly Sins performers
Fauna from Malahide for the Secret of Boris too. That's gonna be nice.
doing sexy burlesque routines
Oh, yeah.
before each band. Have you ever experienced that anywhere in the world you've gone and played?
Columbus, Ohio had a full burlesque and then a full band
But
lineup,
they
and I
didn't-
wanted it to be like this.
Yeah, they didn't stagger it like in
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah, so this is literally a dream come true, a dream I had in Columbus in August of 2015.
Okay, but make no mistake, this is a great event. It's $10 cover,
Oh,
and it's
worth
this
it.
Friday. But it is to help Little Spark Films make
The
the
Torturer.
Torturer,
Yeah.
which is already written, and they've already booked Paul Taylor, of course,
Paul Kane working with them too. Right?
and right on this movie. So it's torturermovie.com for more information. But please come out and have some fun and see some great burlesque and ManifestiV and
that flyer. Man,
many
it's so
other
cool.
many other great bands at Diamond Gyms. Heck yeah!
It's gonna be awesome. Our second saloon show of the year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we did Hotel Utah Saloon in San Francisco. It's
Oh.
from the Gold Rush, actually like 1840s. And there's a piano on the side, and I tried to play it, and it was. I think I did okay.
So when you go into a Western type of town and play your music, industrial / experimental, is that a fair word?
Yeah.
And any crazy reactions?
It always goes better than I expect, at least. What about you, Eve?
That's what you were saying
Yeah.
earlier too. So
Yeah, we went to a town, actually Medford, and
Oregon.
Medford, Oregon, and we were actually like warned by some people, like, oh, they're ultra conservative. Watch out. You know, if I were you, I would just skip Medford altogether. You know, and us keeping in true with our policy, which is try to never cancel a show ever, regardless. We went ahead, pushed on, and actually, probably one of the best received shows, like
Full floor
in all of tour.
dancers. People were just everybody.
And
was just, this is
yeah,
dance floor.
on the surface, Medford looks conservative. I mean, you don't see like an alternative crowd there, like mostly people wearing jeans and flannel or polo shirts or whatever. But yeah, it's like don't judge a book by its cover,
Yeah.
because every single one of them had a lot of
Johnny
fun.
B's. Johnny B's was the name of the venue.
Yeah.
I actually met him, John Bach, and he's like a old school punker. It's amazing. He's got like the Buddy Holly glasses, perfectly like slick back hair. I think he had Reverend Horton Heat go through there at one point in time, so it
Yeah.
might be in cahoots with them. But either way, never judge a book by its cover.
how many times have you been to Burning Man?
8.
5.
Is it the most fantastic experience of the year every time?
It's a spiritual anima every year, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my life reset every time I go.
Yeah,
It's a cleanse.
Yeah.
it's a cleanse, and you kind of come out of it a new person, refreshed. Everybody needs it, don't they?
Yeah.
Because we're a really wound tight country.
I wouldn't say everybody, but it is definitely a big think tank for creatives. I think for people who are very conservative, it may be upsetting to them because it's a very anarchist type situation where you will have like naked people walking around and
But they're all
people
going-
partying and things like that.
I'll
so
go 5 miles an hour on a bicycle. You
yeah,
know? It's
but
like
at
harmless.
the same time, to balance all that out, there's all this like, I mean, it's just unrestricted self-expression, and there's so much art there, and it's probably for me like one of the best interactive art shows ever.
Yeah.
ever.
And it's not all clean,
They
bright
encourage
LED
you.
stuff.
They encourage you to interact with the art, encourage you to participate in it, not just be a spectator. And I think that's what makes it unique from other festivals where, you know, in most festivals they're like, oh no, we are providing the entertainment for you. You just pay us to
Audience
do this.
performer,
Yeah.
But Burning Man's different in where everybody's encouraged to be, you know,
Partake and
the creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Janie Slash and I love festivals, and we love those kind also that don't have a barricade,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
stage is open,
Right.
and the art is open, and people are friendly and wonderful. And
That's exactly how it is at Black Rock City.
you bring your bike every time.
No.
you-
No, we actually we have it arranged with the camp.
Cool.
We work for the camp, and in exchange, they bring out a set number of bikes.
And this is what I kind of understand what you're saying now. You go out there, you bring all your musical instruments, but there's nothing written in stone. You help out others, and
Yeah.
hopefully you can play, or you're impromptu.
Exactly.
You do your gig.
Right.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be ready for anything and everything to change always. Cause
Definitely, it's a choose your own adventure. But the beauty is, the more you put in, the more you get out of it.
You
Every
bet.
time.
All right. So what is it all tents? Where are you at night? Are you
In Beaumobile, we bring them out there,
okay?
and it's a little difficult in the daytime because it gets very hot in the daytime, and
Usually
the
good time
AC
for a
is
bike ride.
questionable in Beaumobile. But yeah, it's mostly like RVs, tents.
Okay.
Some people actually they'll make like yurts out of like 2-inch or 1-inch thick insulation foam. They'll make like these hexa yurts, and those are usually fun because they'll
Yeah.
decorate them, and they actually do a really good job of keeping out the heat.
So we should just ask them if they have room in Beaumobile for next year. You know.
Well, see, they don't really
Sneak
care
out-
what you
sneak out
bring
the
in as long as it's not stowaways. And for the
Oh, we'd be stowaways.
My first couple of years, we would
You were a stowaway.
Craigslist a few people, make sure they had tickets. Like, you know, people flying into Reno need a ride in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bumblebee would get to the gate after a few hour wait, and 6 like burners, maybe 4 of them virgins, like first timers, would come out, and the gate people would be like, "Oh my, what all do you have in here? This is a clown car."
Yeah.
It's like satanic clown car. You got it. Thought you'd like that.
All right. So I took that to be a yes answer.
Yeah.
Okay, good,
there's room.
good.
Just score a ticket, and
Yeah,
we can
get a ticket.
we can help you with
That's
the
the most
avenues.
difficult part. Is
it
actually
is
getting in.
Okay.
It is a confusing process to get them, but it's not as like, oh my god, super exclusive. You just have to be on top of like the process and the stages of release dates and sales and all that, and saved up, and then of course ready once you have the ticket to bring yourself out there. Weeks worth of water, food, clothes, everything you're gonna need, because nothing is out there except dust.
Can you request time off work, Janie Slash?
Sure.
We for 2017 we managed to get a full round trip in just under a month, but that did also include a show and a week of recording. So we might have been able to do a round trip door to door from Dallas, like 3 weeks maybe.
Oh, cool.
Because the festival is like 7 to 10 days. I should know this.
It's 7 days.
7 days leading into Labor Day every year.
Yeah, it just feels like 7 to 10 because we usually go in early and we help
20.
build the camps.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm sorry. No. That's cool too. Is building the camps and everyone helps out. Hey, let's look at some of the videos. I know you have these 1 minute. I like them. They're short. They're bite sized. I get a real taste of it, and I watched a lot of them. We have a
Awesome.
couple. So kind of. Can we do this, Ziggy, where we talk
Yeah,
over
commentary.
it? Yeah, we'll do some commentary if that's
Put
okay.
it, make us a corner piece.
And so tell us what's going on.
Eve is controlling a either French or Spanish 20-foot doll who they brought out for maybe the first time last year, but this year she also had a grandfather, and they were neighbors of ours, like just a couple camps over. So they came over. See, there's Eve's phoenix head on the left. Eve's phoenix head is on the left on top of the building. That's our stage.
That's what you mentioned earlier.
Yes, exactly. And then as she's pulling the doll, an art car.
Yeah, looks like a Golden Gate Bridge art car passing by.
Yeah.
But yeah, that doll is actually a world-renowned art piece. It's been on tour in Europe, and the artist has people either volunteer or sometimes the artist himself has like a megaphone, or not a megaphone, but something to amplify the voice. and he'll have these giant marionettes act like some sort of a theater piece or a skit using the voice.
God, that's cool. And you were controlling that one?
Yeah, I think I was controlling the arms. There's two sets of pulleys, one for the arms, one for the legs, and then I think there's a separate control for the mouth.
Nice.
And they, this marionette is so big that they have a giant crane kind of like move it around, and it's got a giant bed that it sleeps on.
So when you pull up, are there a lot of cranes in the parking lot?
In the beginning, yes.
In the beginning. So they're setting up these
Yeah, it's
larger
all
pieces.
shop lights and
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
it's
the
just like a construction
a
site,
city being
basically.
built. A city of 70,000 people being built in less than a week. That's exactly
Right.
what it sounds and looks like.
Yes.
It's insane because then it just transforms to party and
Yeah.
then tear down and
Yeah.
then empty.
Like, you probably can't wait until those crane noises finish.
Yeah, they're
You can
still
start.
fading away a day or two into the event. You know, people will be like,
yeah.
"Oh, I gotta finish this." Camp Question Mark, one of our favorite sound camps, if not the. They usually build until midweek because they have the largest and loudest sound system out there.
Yeah, they have that much
Camp Question
equipment
Mark.
that it
Yeah.
takes them basically until Wednesday to get it all set up. But then from Wednesday to like Saturday, it's like killer packed out parties every single night.
Yeah.
Like a couple years ago, they had Diplo out there, and it was insane. And it's cool because the city does kind of appear in phases like that. Like you'll have your early camps pop up early in the week. Like our camp is one example where we had like a really big party, like basically when Gate opened. Gate opens normally midnight on Sunday, and yeah, and they all take turns. You know, there's some camps out there that specifically start partying at 5 a.m. like Bubbles and Bass. Their set list starts at 5 a.m. and they keep going till
catch the
noon.
people coming
yeah,
back.
it's
Yeah.
24/7 nonstop.
Janie Slash, we got to take our vitamins and head on out there. Hey,
Bring a lot of water.
now let's look at another one, but we want to talk over it. This one is different. Tell us what's going on.
Oh, I'm so glad you caught this. This is our favorite art car. It's called Mayan Warrior, and it's from Mexico. And this is when it's conjoined to the sound system of another humongous art car called Robot Heart.
Yeah.
The two systems are linked and playing the same thing. One DJ is coming off Mayan Warrior. That thing that's shooting all the lasers is Mayan Warrior. And it's actually a modular, just LED lit, huge subwoofer, 40-foot semi-trailer full.
Yeah,
It looks just like a
18-wheel
regular
semi-truck.
semi. You know, like Knight Rider, Transformers, it's the same thing. It's a regular semi coming up from Mexico. Boom.
Yeah, it makes a yearly migration to and
All those
from
are art
Mexico
cars
City.
parked outside of it,
Did I-
gathered to the party.
Did I see a Jack Skellington?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. There's a Jack Skellington art car for sure. Yeah, and they're all like they make like a little U shape behind it, and you could see we were way deep in the crowd, so you could tell like how many people are there just by the bottom.
Yeah.
And zooming into the DJ, and you can see how large the side of the truck actually is there. So
You film very well.
thanks, especially like trying to bring it all in a minute at a time to something that could be narrated over. I mean, in all seriousness, I wanted to be able to explain what's happening there, and it's like there's so much.
Yeah.
So thank you for.
Do we have one
recognizing.
more, or there's one more? All right, we have one more.
Sweet.
Burning Man. Let's talk. This might be a date.
So
all right.
just had turned it on, and one of the many skydivers had made it. Now that's a way you can get in. I don't know if it's still
Without
this
a
way.
ticket.
Hey, those are the marionettes in the background. The
those
same
are,
one.
Those are those
There's
two
two of
marionettes.
them.
You see the
Yeah,
girl
gotcha.
across from Grandpa, and these trains we were at. I think it's a camp from Sacramento
Yeah.
that positioned them to collide and explode later on Friday night. That's the man. You can see him way in the distance.
Oh, gotcha.
And then we start riding towards him, and he has a huge platform because this year's theme was iRobot, and you go inside the platform. One of the other 1 minute of Burning Man's, you guys on your computers or smartphones, check it out at some point, is going inside the man base, and there's a humongous 360-degree screen talking about, you know, the turn of artificial intelligence and just all this just mind-blowing nonsense, it seems, until you try to make sense of it. So, and that's in the middle of a dust storm too.
All right. So
that's
occasional dust storm. So everyone's
yeah,
got
that's a
scarves
light.
and-
That's a light one.
That's a light one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a light one. All right.
Yeah, we can get complete whiteouts, and
Yeah, I think one of the 1 minute ones was me trying to walk through a whiteout and like find my keys.
Oh. All right. So note to the virgins who go to this show. This event. You got to bring scarves and go to
yeah,
whiteout.
yeah.
Scarves and
It's not
goggles,
for
yeah.
fashion. You actually want scarf and goggles because
Survivalist.
when that dust gets in your eyes, it's hell. And if it gets in your, you can actually get really sick from inhaling that much dust.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
So I think the first
real.
festival we went to.
I thought you meant literal virgins. I was confused.
Burner
by that.
So if you're a burner virgin, once you get to the gate, they ring a bell and they make you like smother yourself in dust, just roll around in it and do an angel and all that. So it's a little ceremonial.
That's the
terms a
ceremony
little
of-
loose.
yeah. Okay. Okay. But you've been 5 times. This is just awesome. Eve 8 times. God, that's so cool.
Her and Bumblebee, that poor truck. It's like no wonder.
So you have a long relationship with Bumblebee.
oh yeah,
You do. A lot of fun has happened.
They hit their 10-year.
yeah. I've had that truck. It's actually the first vehicle I ever bought.
That big old truck.
That was her
Yes.
first choice.
Yes.
If I am driving down the freeway and I see you driving along next to me, what is the protocol? Should I roll down my windows and turn up the music, or should I honk, or what? What should I do?
Oh, all those options are good. I mean,
Okay.
just try not to get into an accident doing them.
I'm gonna show a sign like out the window. I'll hold up, like "Hi, Eve."
Awesome.
Rule 1, stay out of an accident.
Gotcha. Stay
Yay.
safe. Now, November 9th, we're going to talk about it again because this is a cool event. LSF Fest, Little Spark Films. Point to it.
Little Spark, I can't see
This thing is like flipped.
Yeah, it's backwards.
There.
I think it's at the bottom.
It's like, duh.
I think it's at the
There's
bottom.
Janie Slash right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And yeah, there's Raindrop. All right.
Every time
Here's
I get
the-
close, it becomes the card collecting game. I love that.
Janie Slash, we're going to collect all 5. So I think if you want these posters, you could probably arrange something, and the artist will sign them there. I'm just kidding. I don't know for sure. But
We'll
Little Spark
see what's
Film
up.
does great work. And
Amazing,
yeah,
amazing work. We worked with them a handful of a ton of times.
Good.
Worked
Well-
with each other for sure.
Look, that video, I thought flowed real well. I didn't even
amazing.
realize there was no editing.
I
until you
remember when
pointed
we
out.
shot
Yeah,
it, it was like
very
that was
smooth.
perfect, and it
Smooth.
was like it was a perfect snapshot, like a tattoo of exactly.
Don't you
where
love
we
it
were.
when it goes that way?
Yeah, yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Please tell me
Ideal.
some stories of funny reactions from people who either love or don't love when they first see you play.
I think Medford.
Medford.
There was a
Medford
couple
was
of
the
guys
funniest
who
one. Yeah.
literally shouted, "What is this?
Yeah.
What am I looking at?" And
While we were playing.
I think they were inebriated because they like kept saying it, but they never like left. They just kept like staring at us and saying, "What is this?
One
What does this
sweetheart,
mean?"
one sweetheart from that same show loved us so much that she bought something from our merch booth from us. She did the transaction like mid-song.
Yeah.
While we're playing,
we were
she's
on
trying to,
stage, and she's like,
I want
"I'm gonna
this
buy a
kizzy.
CD."
Here's this
And
cash.
she takes the CD.
And like looking at us for an answer mid like.
Are they handing
again. Wait
Eve
a minute.
money? Because your hands have got a guitar, right? Is she handing Eve money?
No, I'm too busy playing the vibraphone.
Yeah, she was handing
just
money
left
to
it on
people
the
without
merch booth.
hands. Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
fine. It worked out. It was
Yeah.
so sweet, and the gesture was like miles past the practicality of the actual situation.
It was sweet.
Maybe we should start something new. You can lay money on the vibraphone,
Yeah,
and then you have to like bang on that one.
I
What is
used
it
to make
called? A key?
sandwiches on the vibraphone.
Yeah.
very first show, like organic, gluten-free bread, like
During the gig.
yes.
Yeah,
the
if you
song.
want to hear a real good story, here's one about that.
Yeah.
When we very, very, very first started, I had obviously never built a vibraphone before, and I thought it was going to take 3 days, and it ended up taking 3 weeks. So by the time I was finished, we didn't have enough time to really practice before the first show at South by Southwest, which is already nerve-wracking as it is.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I learned half the set, but then half the set, I'm like freaking out because I haven't learned it, and it's like literally the day of the show. And it gets to a point where I'm like crying in the shower, telling Taylor, "Oh my God, I failed. Like this, we're gonna screw up our debut. Like, what am I gonna do up there? Just, like make sandwiches?" And like this light bulb, this little ghostly light bulb, like blew up.
A paragraph-shaped light bulb was like,
It was a paragraph.
"That's brilliant."
He's like, "Oh my God, that's what we need to do." So we
So
play
her,
this show.
her innocent comment off the cuff. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Became reality for our first show ever, which
Yeah,
was
we
literally
manifested it.
the crowd was 40 like SLR cameras. It was all press.
Yeah.
Literally. And they're
Yeah.
just taking pictures of her with a hat that says sand space WHICH question mark, basically interrogating about
Yeah.
like the concept of wage
So
slavery.
we turned it into a piece about wage slavery, and I'm like, sorry guys, I have to check out mid-set to make sandwiches. And I literally made all these sandwiches, and all these like drunk people came up, and they're like, "Thank you, this is the greatest show ever."
But did you use good wheat bread? Was it good bread?
It was all really good
Yeah,
ingredients.
super like organic
Yeah.
peanut butter. I think it was like rye or something gluten free
Yeah.
on the bread front.
They were really good sandwiches. Like,
Jamie
yeah.
Slash,
It-
can we have him over, because I love sandwiches and anything with good bread.
He does really like bread. And good
And
sandwiches.
You could set up the vibraphone in our house. I
You
think.
guys don't have to make sandwiches, though.
We tend to not go the bread route, but I tell you, man, Germany, that's one of the main things they had. So we had some of the world's best bread over there. But
Did
it's
you
like-
make sandwiches in the gig in Germany, or was that just in
No,
Austin?
No.
I have a better story about the gig in Germany,
All
which
right.
we could save for like now or never.
Does it anything to do with Oktoberfest?
No,
No.
because we were far off from that. It
All
was
right,
like
all
the
right.
middle of July. Yeah.
All right, so we do want to hear this, right, Janie? No, yeah, we do. This is the Germany story from Paragraph and Eve, please, and we want it unrestricted,
Okay.
the X-rated version.
So, it's literally just an acoustic show. We ended up closing with Ice Age, but I tune my guitars a little strangely when we play here in the States. They're usually fairly low, so all I have was a regular standard E-tune guitar. So I'd learned a little bit of our stuff and learned a lot of covers, and it kind of started with the covers. But my choices of covers weren't appropriate.
For Germany?
Well, let me explain.
For the situation.
For the situation. They were like deep cuts of some of Marilyn Manson's like more artistic works, like the Mechanical Animals title track, for example, or like Man That You Feared, stuff that's like scarily relevant to what's happening with America today or whatever. And little did I know, the way that this crowd was celebrating was by rolling, which is the loose term for MDMA. Everybody was super happy, lovey-dovey, cozy, fuzzy, and I'm talking about the end of times. They all leave. I drove out.
He
our
literally
first crowd
emptied
in
out
Germany, and the
a
four
club
people,
of like 50 people.
the four people that were left
We're the only ones that weren't
They're just
rolling.
drinking. They're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
this is awesome! Yeah, you played the Audio Slave song and you cried because Chris is dead. Oh, this is so real. I love it." But it was way too real for everybody else, and they left. And afterwards, I was like, "Oh, I apologize to the guy who I played, who brought his whole crowd for that." He's like, "No, I fully understand. Look at my set, and it started with a cover of "Rape Me" by Nirvana." I'm like, "Well, why did it not work for me?"
Well, because his style was singer-songwriter.
Yeah, so
and
he
your
did-
style was like
Yeah,
What
I
was your
really
style?
dark. really.
I really accentuated the darkness of the lyrics and a lot of minor chords and stuff. And I'll drop his name because he's a terrific soul. Falco Linz. He would do similarly dark songs, but make them really bright, very happy, very sunshiny, very smooth. And I didn't do that. Everything I did was just jagged and raw and honest, which it usually is, but it was way too much for the group of college Germans that night.
Oh, man. Whoa.
Yeah, that's,
Who would've thought?
you could never undo that first time playing in Europe.
Yeah.
But you love playing in Germany generally.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. No, we did an open mic in Berlin a couple weeks afterwards, and I think a couple days before that, we played at this crazy random circus, and a similar situation happened where, again, rolling Germans liked what we had to do for some reason in that setting.
Huh.
Maybe because they hadn't been prepped by something smooth, because they just were attracted to it from the get-go, and that kind of helped heal that. But, yeah.
So for someone who's not been to Germany, where would you recommend as a maybe a first stop?
Berlin.
Okay.
Berlin first, last, middle. Man, we
Okay.
have, we have friends and family all over the rest of Germany, and it's really great, and it's all very German. But Berlin is so international. It's a really good way for somebody who's never been to just like, okay,
Yeah.
here's what you're familiar with, plus Germany, and if you want to venture out and go to like Nuremberg or Dresden's a little college townie, not enough bathrooms. Leipzig is great. Halle. Halle's amazing.
Okay,
That's
so
a
what do you
really
mean,
cool city.
public bathrooms?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, pretty
so
much.
are these ones where you have to put in a nickel or something? Or,
Yeah, everything was pay to
Yeah.
pee there.
Yeah,
to
there,
pee.
there were actually no public bathrooms unless you
No payments available.
You had to
unless
go
you
into a
live there,
restaurant.
You had to
or
go
you have
into
to be
a
customer.
restaurant or
Cafe.
a shop and
buy something.
right, and we were like in the middle
on the way
of,
to going somewhere else.
right, we were en route to something. We're like, okay, we don't want to have to like be a customer. We just want to like pee and like move on with our lives, and it was always like super difficult for some reason. Yeah,
We had to find
that
a
was one of the weirdest like discoveries about Germany. Is that it's very
And,
hard
and
to
Europe in general, a
randomly
lot of
pee.
cities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Funny.
I remember Prague in Czech Republic was a little difficult to pee in.
Do you ever go into one of those European bathrooms and it's just a hole in the floor, and you're like,
Those happen more in Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
think I've ever seen that in Europe.
Southeast Asia.
But we've
is
seen that a
crazy.
lot. And
"What, have you played in Asia?"
Acoustically, the
yeah,
same.
we've played acoustic gigs. When we do international gigs, it's mostly acoustic gigs or with borrowed equipment because right now we're actually designing a new vibraphone that'll be more travel friendly, and then we can do our full shows. And it's like almost he's his father's actually working on making a fully collapsible vibraphone that one person can set up by themselves.
Is your vibraphone wired or electronic, or it is?
It is.
Okay.
I use a amplification system that is
underneath the keys. I
yeah,
guess.
every key has its own piezo magnet. So there's 37 piezos
It's a
on
little,
this.
little copper disc that has a little wire and then what looks like just an iPhone jack at
Yeah.
the bottom of it.
Cool.
Every key. So
Every
there's
one.
37.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got each one has got an 1/8" jack going into like a long collecting rail, and then that goes into a box, and then
That just sums it all up, makes it one
information
sound to send.
then goes that's the amplification, and then that goes into a guitar effects processor, and that's how I'm able to change the voices on it.
Yeah.
And after a
Yeah,
lot of
and loop and
experimentation,
wah and all that stuff.
after a lot of experimentation, we found
it?
out a bass amp worked best for her because it really brought out just the really gorgeous mid tone of the vibes, and you could hear the percussive parts because it's a duo, but there's a lot of live action, so there has to be a lot of rhythm
Yeah.
keeping, not
It's-
necessarily just in the tracks.
We call it a percussive instrument,
Oh,
Yes.
for
but
sure.
really it's so much more, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's anything.
Yeah,
You make
I never in my life ever imagined playing a vibraphone that is also kind of like a synth.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting to me because I think it's the only one that exists like it. Well, I mean, there's not that many vibraphone players out there anyway, and then the ones that do exist, like it's like how many have this amplification system, and then out of that, how many go through a guitar effects pedal, and then have that many vibraphones, how many built their own vibraphone?
Yeah.
So I think it's the only one.
That's why we say you give good vibes. That's your little tag.
Yeah, where's
And
the-
also
where's
for
the
paragraph, do you have the mark of the devil?
I don't know, Satan. Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Yes, I have.
Did you steal that
Yeah.
from Sabrina?
I did.
I stole it from Batman.
So look, has the mark of the
I
devil.
do.
You told me a week ago you have
Oh.
a private area.
Point of interest.
with,
That's right.
a
It is
little-
a point of interest,
a-
according to the Scandinavians. Command, according to Apple users. It's the sign.
Right, it's the sign.
one that does like little 4 U-turns. It's a clover, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, and apparently, first, I didn't know this until our last time in Keflavik, it was a Scandinavian like street sign symbol for place of interest.
Cool.
And I have it tattooed on my pubic symphysis, where the pubis comes together right over
Yeah.
the junk, if you will.
This is right above your
it's right-
trunk.
it's right there.
It's a point of interest. It is a place of interest.
For sure.
Well, should we leave it at that?
Yeah, because my name's Paragraph, not Commander.
Okay.
I was going to go with that, Commander. And then like,
Okay.
no, don't want this
So-
whole totalitarian
So
tone.
the ManifestiV logo is this cool paragraph symbol with the M in there.
man.
What am I missing? Is there anything else?
Well,
It's
the
so
thing-
cool.
What we did, and it feels like visually it went lopsided in my favor, but we each had our own logos to start with. Just a Pilcrow paragraph sign for me.
Well, wait, there is an E. If you,
Yeah,
Right.
and
Gotcha.
Eve's logo is actually somewhat mimicked in the shape of Silba, which is the name of the vibraphone, B-A. It kind of looks like her name, where the E's are going backwards because it's a palindrome. So it's a 9-inch nails looking type flip.
Yeah, there we go.
So we just,
Thank you,
when we
Ziggy.
first were conceptualizing the band at the very end of 2013, when I just moved from Dallas to Vallejo, we just got a napkin and drew both logos and kind of brainstormed. I wish I still had that to show how we got to the
the evolution to
the
it.
triple crow, tri-pilcrow, tripilcrow. It's pronounced all sorts of different ways. But
Now, okay, so we showed, I think that was your Tumblr, but also you've got a cool website. You've got a cool, great Facebook page. And yeah,
that's
look
the
at that.
website.
There
yeah.
we go. That's a great picture.
Thanks. That was taken by Ryan W. O'Connor. He's in San Francisco, and he caught us on our only California show last year. And that was
Great
that was
picture.
amazing. Thanks.
That is a great picture. Look, so here's my thought. Since you go to burner events, could you light the end of the mallet and then play?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's definitely within our range of accomplishment.
Would you give Satan credit when you do that?
This is Satan's
I'll do
idea?
it, and then I'll
Say in the
dedicate that
microphone.
portion of the show to you. Even
Be like, this is Satan's idea.
this is for Satan.
What do you think, Janie? I mean,
Satanic approval.
All right.
I can't talk super well. You keep asking me questions and I can't answer them very
The
well.
nodding.
but you look
works.
so great. So
Yeah,
are
the
you
pink on
I
monitoring?
don't want anyone to think I'm rude. Yeah, I'm in the chat room.
All right. So anything,
Bart said, tell them about the effect you get with a bow across the keys, Eve.
Aw. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't discussed that already. The bow. We use a bow, and what it does is it's similar to when you wet your finger and rub it across like a glass, kind of like that same ethereal sound. And but it's really cool because once again, when you apply the effects to it, you can have all kinds of expressions, and a lot of people don't expect that when they see a vibraphone
theremin
performance.
sounding almost?
Well, more of like
You can make it sound that way.
Okay.
back to
but-
the illusion of the vibraphone, illusion with an A, of the vibraphone being like a synthesizer. It's
Yeah.
like a pad.
Yeah.
So like her mallets are like just the attack like a regular like a synth wave, if you will, and then with the bow it achieves a pad attack or pad effect because the attack is really slow. I always likened it to not a lot of people remember these, but sometimes there were desks in school that had the wire baskets underneath for books. It's kind of like just a weird pocket of the 90s thing, but in class people like lick their lips and run it
Gotcha.
across one of them to just make an annoyance in class to get the teacher off subject or whatever. So
But go ahead, Eve.
Yeah, so we used, I think you remember it better than I do. Was it a quarter scale cello bow?
correct.
Yeah, and so that's the type of bow we use. And we discovered that because when we first got married, his parents sent us a violin, and then there was another set of friends who sent us also another violin. So that was pretty cool and synchronistic. And so part of the gift set we got was these two bows. We don't actually know how to play violin,
I tried. It
But-
was word on the line.
but we got so much fun out of those bows.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because it wasn't something that I discovered. It was something that I had witnessed seeing a classical performance. I'm actually classically trained in the vibraphone. And so to be able to do that in an industrial setting is really fun.
It is neat. Definitely cool. How many bows are you bringing out with the vibraphone?
Currently one, but
Okay.
we want to get up to 4 because we want to do chords and
Different-
long sweeping.
Each bow would be a
Songs
different
eventually.
sound a little bit. I imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
There's a Moonlight Sonnet on vibraphone, I believe, that you could look up on YouTube.
Oh,
and it is
neat.
incredibly inspirational to
Yeah.
us.
And
And
Eve
four
plays
You need four bows to
four
play
college
it.
students
Or
each had
4
two
people.
bows.
Yeah, so you
So
need
it's
8 bows.
and they'd be on both sides, and they'd just make chords together. And we're eventually going to emulate that, but make it super industrial and electronic, and
God, that's
a
cool.
future recording at one point.
You're definitely just off the mainstream, and that's why we love you.
Thank you.
We hate the fucking mainstream. Paragraph. Look at that camera.
I
We hate the mainstream.
hate's a strong word. I'm
is a really sweet
I am
movie.
apathetic to the mainstream. See, here's the deal: is that love and hate involve and require the same amount of energy to express.
Yes.
And so the opposite of love is apathy. So
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
the most
You're
basic form of love in the universe is attention, whether or not it's positive or negative.
There exactly. There are parts of the mainstream vernacular that have parts of heart and mind and spirit to them, but the real pure stuff is mostly just bubbling underground.
Duly noted. Well said, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, we have been to a couple of cool shows,
Oh yeah.
Janie Slash and I, recently, and we got a couple of neat. Oh, look,
No way.
Janie took that.
Oh,
That is awesome.
Where was
That's
that? Was
from
that
us. Those are trees.
I was gonna say it looks like trees.
That's
That is
trees.
super.
Look
awesome.
at that.
Wow.
Man, you playing Misfits? Please.
Definitely cool. So that was
Dude.
about a week ago. Yeah,
That
Janie
was
Slash.
Nice.
She also interviewed Doyle. It was an exclusive.
How
I
is
went
it?
and saw this band.
Nice photo.
I know.
Yeah, she spends
Really?
a lot of time with her hand in her pant. Well, not a lot of time, but she sometimes.
That's-
And
yeah.
that is,
I wasn't there.
yeah, the band is
Starcrawler.
called Starcrawler.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they were playing at Club Dada.
That's super cool. No, those pants are to die for sure.
Yeah, very cool band. And she spent some time on the
She's
floor.
star crawling.
Yeah, she's star crawling.
I spent some time in the floor too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. Sometimes you're down there playing. Yeah, you're on your
I-
back.
I-
Yeah,
I-
or
you're on your back.
You're on your back.
I sneak a bicycle yoga in, every once in a while.
Yeah.
If possible. The suit's wired, so that makes it fun. That's
Okay, Janie Slash. Talk to us. This is a freaking great picture. Look at those.
That
Gloves.
was from the Burton show.
Oh, there was a
That-
Burton show.
The Tim Burton burlesque show. Yeah. That was
Oh.
the photos were by
Wow.
Michael Schulte, and that's from my Mars Attacks routine.
That is so cool. I love the brain ended up on the floor. That's great. That's really cool. No, I love how she glided. Oh man, actress's name completely escapes
Oh,
me.
I know who you mean.
Yeah, in the movie, and she's just like,
Oh.
Yeah, she played
when she-
vampire, the vampire-looking, right?
Yeah.
She previously
Yeah.
played that in Ed Wood.
very well known named actress. I can't think of her.
Yeah, we'll think of it in a second.
We will.
Paragraph Taylor, Eve Walding. Yeah. So I've learned now I should call you Paragraph.
Well, I have two
I
names.
made
It's
that
part of
mistake
being a
before.
Gemini, and different
Okay.
names apply to different situations. Paragraph usually
You got
works when
this
I'm
and
talking.
that.
Yeah, I've got a tattoo on the wrist of one thing. And Taylor's
And-
cute because my mom thought I was going to be a girl, and then once she saw that my bits were different than expected, she's like, "I'm not going to refill out the paperwork." So it's got its own story.
Well, Taylor works definitely.
Yeah, it does.
And Paragraph. So I think you're a Paragraph. Eve is another Paragraph, or the whole novel.
Exactly.
Yeah, because she creates this tremendous artwork as well. Let's talk about your art.
Oh man,
What
it's so awesome.
okay, there's various mediums you're using. And you're creating things, and you're painting things, and you're drawing things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like probably, I don't know, I get the impression that at your house there's just a lot of paper and pens for drawing.
It's actually it's funny because my house would probably more resemble a studio than an actual house. But we together, me and Taylor, are constantly creating and constantly trying to put stuff out there. And we're actually taking a year off from touring. Well, at least major touring, maybe some regionals we can slip in
Little
there.
surprises
but
here
we
and
want to
there.
focus on the new album.
Good.
And we're actually going to upgrade not only the sound of ManifestiV, but also the look of ManifestiV.
All right.
Yes. So big things to come.
Very good. Well, keep us informed
Thank you.
when you can.
Absolutely.
There's a cool event going on tonight.
Yeah. What's up?
Gas Monkey Live.
Oh, what's happening there?
Oh,
Oh.
That one.
What?
Claudio Simonetti's Goblin is playing. Yeah, they're
Is
showing-
this the original Suspiria?
Yes.
Okay, because
Wow.
Tom York just scored the remake.
Right.
Oh
We
man,
saw
I've
it
been
yesterday.
looping that soundtrack nonstop the
Yeah,
past
it's a
few
good
days. It is
soundtrack.
so dark. It is so amazing, and the remake bases back in 77 Berlin as well,
77.
which is when Bowie did the trilogy with Iggy Pop to get away from the lack of sobriety in Los Angeles, Behind the Wall.
We visited his flat in
Oh
Berlin.
my god!
You did?
Yeah,
So
it still has flowers on it. On the
I bet.
on the door handle.
Yeah, I bet.
So I'm
Yeah.
super excited about Suspiria. That's really cool. That's happening tonight. Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, live soundtrack, right, Janie?
Yeah.
To the 77 version of Argento's
We-
Suspiria.
Nice.
We went and saw Suspiria yesterday too.
Nice.
I did
still
not
haven't seen
realize
I
it was
need to.
almost 3 hours long until after I bought my tickets. But it moved really fast. Like it was good.
Nice.
It's really well made. It's really well done.
Have to see it.
Another event coming up is Fetish Ball.
Yeah.
Janie Slash, you're going to be there?
Yes, I'm gonna be there. I'll be working the Loop booth on Saturday night.
So if you want to get
It's
lubed
Friday and Saturday.
up, it's the
Nice.
beat and greet.
So if you need to get your latex
Oh,
lubed on
Friday,
Saturday,
November
I will be
9th.
there on Saturday night with Raindrops working the Loop booth.
There you
Now,
go.
that date says the 9th, but you'll be there on the 10th.
Yes, I will
Okay.
be at Diamond Gem Saloon on the 9th. So,
We will all be there at Diamond
yes, we will
Gems
all be at Diamond Gems on the 9th.
Be super fun.
to promote and talk about Torturer,
Yes.
Little Spark Films movie.
Man, I can't wait. It's gonna
So
be
go
the
to
crowd
Diamond
season.
Gems on the 9th and go to Fetish Ball on the 10th.
There you go. And you see Janie Slash at both.
What? Select going, Ziggy. Aren't you going?
LSF Fest 3,
At
the
least interested.
Torturing Film Fundraiser Party, November 9th at Diamond Gym Saloon in Arlington.
I'm just giving you hell, Ziggy. I love you.
That is on Friday. Friday.
Don't we have a cool video to show for that?
That's right.
Yeah, they
do.
just released it today.
They just released it today. The Little Spark Films.
Yeah.
Cool video for that event
Yeah.
coming up.
One day I'll make it out of here. I always wanted that I would be something. I'll make it out of here, and I will show you all. You were wrong. I will show you all.
How fantastic does that,
That
event
was a
look?
fun video. Wow.
That was a fun video. Well done, LSF.
Yes.
Yes.
What a great. We should just show that again and again and again. Wow. Well done. I mean, man, I'm excited about Friday night.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be the bee's knees.
I get to introduce you guys.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm going to make up some sort of wild intro.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to make up a story
the club.
and then claim it's true. And this is
Make up
them.
everything about us, please.
And yeah, and this is them, ManifestiV. God. Ooh. All right, so Friday night, the 9th, and in Arlington, you get to see this band perform live, ManifestiV.
I want to say it's our first time playing in Arlington. I
Good,
was
cool.
Marilyn Manson last Saturday night at Arlington Music Hall.
How did that go? I saw a
that
picture
was
that Eve
amazing.
posted, and man, you were right
It was
out.
so fun. It was with
great-
Mob Scene, and man, those guys are like amazing, and they all double in Dallas Cooper, pretty much most of them, and they're just.
But you sing
Cool cats.
all of the Manson songs.
Yeah, man, what a troubled spirit that guy is. I'll tell you what. And no, I pull a Heath Ledger Joker every time I do it. I'm like, start thinking like all this just weird, like attack of bigotry of, Christianity shit for like, sorry.
We are tired of the oppression of Christianity.
Yeah, I did all
Do you
those
start
bits in the
preaching?
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mean to, and it just becomes part of the vernacular, so I kind of have to do a cleanse.
We've seen it. We saw you guys at the bar in Deep Ellum,
It was
the underpass.
Oh, right.
That's
Of
Dirty
course.
30. That's
Yeah,
right.
Dirty
when
30.
I came out of the casket.
30.
Yes,
Yes,
you were
that was
there.
last year.
Yes,
Came out of the
7/7/17.
casket.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a
that's
Denham
right.
Batesville. That's
Oh,
the
man.
model
It was so
of the
good.
casket. Thank you so much. It was fun.
So
Oh,
you're
you were
in
there.
you're in those two bands.
Yeah.
Any
fun
other
times.
bands at the moment?
Well, I am very brotherly betrothed with the 4 members of Secret of Boris to
Good, yeah.
make it a 5-piece for its first time in history, and it's been definitely all of us coming together in love past, our own respective lifetimes worth of crap, and we're dealing with it all together in song form. Be like, okay, I've got something to write about. Oh, you guys do too? Okay, it's just. It's such good synergy and work environment, and it makes for really good balance with ManifestiV too. Because when I was with Secret of Boris a long time ago, I was trying to just get everything out creatively. Remember that the inverse eye of the hurricane we spoke of in the break that Eve is really good at like managing. Well, the guys in Secret of Boris are like, that's too much. It's weird, and I was unsatisfied with everything because I couldn't go as crazy as I wanted to. And now with ManifestiV, especially with Eve's guidance and like kind of bull ringing me in and being like, okay, now make this make sense and keep the message, but still go wild.
Yeah.
Now I get to come in and be a team player and not, have my need to just artistically inseminate everything I touch. It's taught me a lot about
Fair enough. Look,
being a
it's
musician.
gonna be great to see Secret of Boris.
Yes.
Man,
Great
no,
band,
the new
yeah.
stuff is. Oh,
It
dude,
is.
guys. I can't wait to see Marquis of Vaudeville either. It has been years. I think we saw him in 2014 down in Austin.
And Trinitite is debut.
That's going to be really cool.
Debut show?
Nothing like seeing a band break in for the first time.
and Nosferatu.
Yeah. Bring your skateboards.
Only $10. That is Friday night, and there it is, right behind us. Diamond Gems, Arlington, November 9th, starts at 7-ish.
And
right?
guys, when it's like $50 or $60 like parking at the stadium up the street, why not come and drop $10? Literally $1 a performer. Think about it. You got plus or minus 5 burlesque performers and plus or minus 5 bands.
Yeah, that's,
You're
that's
getting
a really
a
good
bang
deal.
for your buck. It's
That's a
like
really
it's
good
kind
deal.
of. I'm not gonna say it's foolish not to come, but I'm not gonna not say it's foolish not to come.
Now, we were talking about Suspiria. That is the original is showing tonight with a live score from Goblin.
Man, that's tempting.
We saw the Suspiria 2018 yesterday. It's good.
Dang.
It is good. You see a lot of Berlin.
Yeah.
It's pre 1989, so the wall is right there.
Yeah. Oh man, we have to go see it now. Especially
Now-
we were just at Checkpoint Charlie too, so that's like
Yeah.
that's a lot of man. That was
So
crazy. energy.
so is there like a guard stand that still is there?
for like novelty's sake, and they have a chunk of the wall they put aside, and they've
Okay.
kind of gentrified and
So-
made a lot of it a product, which is really disheartening, But a lot of everybody who's there to see it is there to see it for the right
Place of
reasons.
interest.
Yeah, yeah.
Very.
Just like above your junk.
Yeah, the pubic symphysis.
Hey, so did you know that there is another evil dance related movie?
Not particularly.
I don't think it's evil.
All right. All right. It gets into the wild territory, and it's called Climax. It's by Gaspar Noé, French director who made Irreversible. But let's watch a trailer on this. Someone spikes the punch at the party, and an orgy ensues.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy, one or the other.
It's called Climax.
If you couldn't dance, what would you do? Suicide? représente quoi la danse pour toi?
C'est tout pour moi. La danse, c'est tout pour moi. J'ai que ça.
Est-ce que t'es prêt à beaucoup de choses pour réussir?
C'est-à-dire.
Oh, you're so good. You liked it? I'm so happy. I couldn't be happier.
Truc qui monte.
Qu'est-ce que t'as? Tu sais garder le secret. Ce qui ne me tue pas me rend plus forte.
Almost like a ManifestiV gig.
Yeah.
It
Almost.
gets a little orgiastic.
A little less punch, but yeah.
Man.
Be careful of the punch.
Yes.
Did you see where he scoops it out? There's a letter E.
That
in
was
there.
brilliant.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I wish I would have thought of it first.
And then you walk it down the hallway, and slowly it's upside down. I'm like, this is a great film.
No, that looks like it has a
Or
lot,
it
of
looks
good,
like-
lot of good direction. Yeah, for sure. No,
Gaspar
can't
Noé.
wait to see that.
Yes.
A date on that? No.
I think now it's out at select
nice.
places.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Or very soon.
We just saw a preview for it yesterday.
Awesome. Where'd you guys see Suspiria?
What? Sorry?
Alamo.
Oh, Alamo.
Okay.
I think that's
Very
the
cool.
only place it's showing.
That is not true. It's showing it. It's showing a lot of places.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So maybe
Yeah.
like a.
But you
Magnolia
should go
or
see it at
Angelica.
Alamo.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Alamo's the best. But yeah, no,
Awesome.
it's at AMC, and I've seen it at Cinemark. It's all over.
I need to order some product, and when I want to order Halloween-style product, dark, cool
Year-round.
stuff, year-round,
Yeah.
I go to CorpseFactory.com.
Oh no way! That's good because I always wonder like this week on until like beginning of
Look,
October.
you can buy a head in a jar, other body parts, and
Oh, the skull
figure,
backpack.
figurines and dolls and stuff.
Man.
If Brandon is watching,
Is
I
that
do need another one of these bracelets right here.
You got Gizmo in there.
Yes.
That's cute.
But I want you guys to check it out. So anytime you want to buy a gift for a bar owner, like at Lovecraft Bar,
Oh yeah.
go to CorpseFactory.com first. Corpse Factory.
All right.
They're always at Texas Frightmare Weekend as well with a huge booth.
Nice.
And they are our sponsor. We love them.
Corpsefactory.com. Sounds
Simple.
awesome.
Yes. And it fits, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We're Corpsepaint show.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They're Corp.
You guys got a Vesica Pisces of a corpse.
Right. We talk.
Yeah, it says the release date was September 19th, 2018.
Cool.
So
Nice.
I don't know where you can see it, but
It's one of those French films, so maybe it is at select art houses or.
For sure.
Yeah.
well, September 19th. We're in November. I feel like
Right.
it's probably already left.
Oh, well.
Man, I remember when films would stay in theater for that long. Now it's like 2 weeks.
It's
and you're
weird because we
done.
just saw a preview for it yesterday.
Wow.
So it must still
Maybe
be
it got
somewhere.
changed.
Must still
Well,
be
I
somewhere.
mean, look, sometimes the release date they show is when it plays in New York City, but then it takes a while to get, out
yeah.
the rest of the
Yeah,
country.
Stark Coast will come in, yeah.
So, all right, let's talk some more about God as a Martian. What else, Eve, is the message of God as a Martian? And I know we're not going to reveal the ending of this, but this is badass that comes with your single.
Thank you.
And the single is on CD?
Yes.
Yes. I love that because
Full
I'm
of
a CD guy.
surprises.
I'm still a CD guy. And you probably have releases on vinyl or
No vinyl releases yet. We want to wait for the right time for that.
Well, look, you can go right there.
There it is. So there's the single version. It has God as a Martian, as it will be on the record by the same name. And Can't Stop was remixed by our friend and October Mid tour mate, Bloodied. He's Jermaine Johnson. He did some dates with us. He's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Does a sick reworking of the Tales from the Crypt theme, actually, in his show. So he rips.
You like the remix he did?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the
really
remix
good.
he did for us for Can't Stop is really cool. We almost both kind of prefer it to the original and had plans of playing it with him, but
Yeah.
a lot of that tour, as things do midsummer, kind of get cooked apart because temperatures are too high.
And that's called Can't Stop. But so there's 3 songs on the single.
Yeah, and the
Yes.
third one
Okay.
is a demo for a song we have started playing live called Drummer Dust, and it's going to be on the follow-up to God as a Martian, which is one of the first things we're focusing on in our year of mostly
Hiatus or
Hibernation.
Or hibernation. All right. Yeah. So that'll be
Exactly.
God as a Martian.
Exactly.
That you're
Yeah.
talking about.
2019. So it's a taste of things to come, which is
Yeah.
why it's a win-win situation. If you get the single before the album comes out, you get something you can't get until it comes out again in 2019.
And where should people go to get that?
That exact website that was up here. So our Bandcamp. That will be the place where just on midnight that'll be the turn, and Spotify and iTunes and all them usually take their own time to be able to put it on, but that's the first and foremost place you can get it exactly there. It'll go straight to our record, Midnight, Becoming, December 7th.
Gotcha. All right. So the late night on the 6th.
Exactly. So manifestive.bandcamp.com.
I like the description it had for you there.
Thank you.
It said haunting, it said vibraphone, it said industrial, it said the keywords I look for and everything. And so yeah, I love the Bandcamp. Did you write all that? I guess so, right?
I dabbled in webmastery back when it was being introduced as a as a course in high school. That dates me a little bit, but yeah, turn of the century, kind of got my bearings in computer graphics and HTML writing. Kind of stopped it there. Didn't want to go as far as programming apps for startups, and it's just wanted to keep it informational. Hey, here's where he catches life.
It's great, probably, being a two-piece at times.
Yeah, it's equally as rewarding as challenging. You'd probably concur.
I think it's actually easier to be in a two-piece
Yeah.
because
Less complicated.
there's
That's definitely a good way to put
the
it.
more people you add, especially something as intimate as a band, which until recently I didn't really understand what it was like to be in a band that was like full-time. And it's kind of like almost like a second marriage in a way. And so when you start adding people to a band, the interpersonal dynamics shift a lot. And when there's only 2 people, there's only one dynamic you have to work on. When there's 3, there's actually 3 dynamics, because there's that person to you, that person to them, and then you guys to him, and so on and so forth. So it gets more complicated the more people you add to it. And
Definitely.
even just scheduling, like
Yeah.
it's hard to get 3 people to
Agree to
schedule stuff at the same
Right.
time, and
Yes.
It's hard to
and even
schedule.
more so with 4 and 5 people.
Yeah, it's hard
Yeah.
hard enough to schedule practices as a duo who's married and lives together. you
Yeah,
know?
right.
You're coordinating with
Right.
people who have like children in different counties and
Right.
jobs and do this, and some can tour, some can't. Yeah. No,
So we give salute and shout out to bands like Secret of Boris who make that happen, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
make that happen.
absolutely.
They make it happen, and they
It-
sound so good.
Yes.
Oh man, it's crazy because we're all working with our own things and coming together, but it's still like the easiest non-duo I've ever been in, which is funny because the band has a long history and has had a few members plus or minus. It used to be called Lame back in the day, so it definitely took all of us growing up to make it as easy as it is now, but it's definitely kudos, especially to everybody.
Hey, we've got another event coming up later in the month.
What's that?
Okay, now it's after this fun weekend at Diamond Gems. The following weekend is Deadly Sins performing at Wits End.
That's right. It's the monthly
Look at
mid-Saturday
that.
month. Yeah, I've been to a few of those. Those
With
are
cranberry
awesome.
sauce,
This
right?
one's gonna
Cranberry
be
sauce wrestling. All right.
Hey, that's
So-
perfect for
awesome.
Thanksgiving.
Eve, so wear appropriate clothing because we might ask you.
All right.
No, it's up to Janie Slash.
No, I draw my boundaries at gravy wrestling.
Yeah, she stops at the grave.
We're wrestling in cranberry sauce. Yeah.
Cranberries on the other
Yeah,
side of the
gravy.
Yeah, chicken or turkey gravy.
Stuffing.
I did see a girl. I didn't. Jay did. We had a show on Friday. It was a food fetish show, and she smashed mashed potatoes with her boobs. Is that right, Jay?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
And poured gravy all over herself.
She did.
I
It was a
didn't.
food
I saw
fetish.
the aftermath because I was after her. So she walked backstage and was like covered in gravy. She smelled like Thanksgiving dinner. It made me
wow.
hungry.
Stuffing.
All right, and so okay, so what are we? Oh, the other event. The other event is November 29th. I'm not sure if I sent this to Ziggy, but this is the event. Hey, hi everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Are you waving? Eve, raise those arms more. Yeah, that's her right there. with the red lips.
We are performing at Gas Monkey Live on November 29th. We're opening for Hell's a Poppin', and Deadly Sins has $5 tickets if you need a ticket because they're like $15 online right now. So hit us up through the Facebook page if you would like a $5 ticket. And take 3 friends for the price of 1.
Isn't that cool?
Deadly Sins Burlesque is awesome every single time we see them, but combination with Hell's a Poppin' is going to be mind blowing.
Isn't it?
Secret of Boris got to play with Hell's a Poppin' in Greenville, Texas, back in I think it was 2012.
Neat.
And I jumped off the front of the stage for retro and landed 1 foot in concrete and the other foot in like volleyball stand, so I sprained my ankle.
Oh no.
So I watched all of Hell's a Poppin' set with my ankles propped up by the merch booth, but I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but this dude was doing this different route of digestion that I've never seen, using wires and tools on himself. I'm like, this is all right. I'd seen Jim Rose Circus too before at Canyon Club way back in the day, and this is the newer, bigger, next generation. Take the cake of that. And,
Yep.
dude, you guys got to go see this. Yeah, hit up Deadly Sense for those $5.
Right.
$5
So it's
tickets.
Hell's a Poppin' on the 29th with Deadly Sins opening at Gas Monkey Live. What a
29th.
great video.
Yeah, that's a really cool venue.
29th.
for sure. And that's going to be that's a Friday, isn't it?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. Oh,
It's the
okay.
week after
that's
Thanksgiving.
We
right,
go
that's
on
right.
at 7 though, so it's early.
That's right, yeah.
Well, you'll be a week away from Thanksgiving, so nobody has an excuse to miss. You
So
can't
we
be
got to
like-
wrap it up.
Fast, yeah.
Shameless plug. God is a Martian coming out December 7th. What else, Eve? What else? What else?
November
Paragraph.
9th.
Well, man, so much else.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Look out for more visual art. Look
These
out
next
for
few
things to
shows.
come. Don't think
Yeah.
that once God is a Martian is released that we're going to slow down at all. That's basically
Good.
the point.
Yeah.
Keep an
good.
eye open and enjoy the record for Christmas. Or
What'd
what have
you say, Janie Slash? What?
November 9th.
Yes.
Right.
Diamond
Of
Gin
course.
Saloon.
Yay.
5 days.
Janie Slash does burlesque bingo every Tuesday in Addison, and that's pretty fun.
Burlesque bingo. That
At
sounds
Duke's.
fun.
Oh, wow.
That sounds awesome.
It's fun.
It's always good on Tuesday night. It's starting to get Tuesday night wild up there.
Nice.
Bingo combined with burlesque.
I never thought I'd hear wild and bingo in the same sentence.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
that is a new.
I know.
That's a new combo.
But it's happening. It's I know. This is not old-fashioned bingo. This is like a girl taking off her clothes bingo.
Nice.
Gets a little exciting.
So good to have ManifestiV on the Corpsepaint Show.
Thank
Been
you so
wanting to
much
have you
for having
guys for a
us.
while,
Thank
and
you.
you are loved and respected. Guitar and vibraphone and making it work together, and I just think it's awesome. I do.
So
I
many
really
thanks.
do.
So many thanks, Aiden.
No, really, man. Just really, really appreciate you guys. Ziggy, thank you so much for the board. Janie Slash,
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, team.
we're going to say so long, and we're going to see some friends tonight at the Goblin playing live soundtrack to Suspiria 1977, Gas Monkey. Come say hi to us there. Yeah, the Corpsepaint Show. Every Sunday we're here live. We're going to give you 90 minutes of live, great, irreverent shit. And also just talk about Satan and talk about movies and talk about metal and talk about Jenny Slash's weekly dose of horror.
Yeah, Texas Frightmare Weekend. I am here with Dee Wallace. Don't stare at my boobs the whole time.
Sure. I do get comments from occasionally religious fanatics.
I have seen people stop and bow
Want
down.
to wag their finger at me for being saintly.
The Corpsepaint Show rules.